here's something that people ask me about all the time. The food in China was definitely very different. Now, I was brought to China by the government and the Confucius Institute, so all the food that I had there was paid for. It was probably expensive. I would not doubt that it was expensive in the least. Especially to feed 100 people. It was interesting, however, to see the similarities and differences between Chinese food and American/North American Chinese food. Or whatever. Definitely gonna put some pictures up on this one, because one place that we went, for example, it was famous for its duck. It was really good at preparing duck, I guess. And they had all sorts of duck dishes. One of which was basically a glazed duck that they chopped in half down the middle. I took a picture of flipping it over and there's a brain inside. Definitely, yeah, just look. It's crazy. I don't know what to think about that. The food was good. It tasted delicious, but it was really weird. Other places we had stuff like, one place served us bugs, which was an interesting thing. I will be honest, they actually tasted pretty good, but I only ate one. I was required to eat one. Yeah, so all of the places that we went had like the Lazy Susan type middle in the table, where the food just spun around so that we could all reach it and take what we wanted. There was always leftovers, and I felt like we should be taking the leftovers because they tasted delicious, but we had more than enough food every meal. So in Beijing, we had a continental breakfast in the hotel, but in Kunming we had to go to this one building that they had set aside specifically for our breakfast every day, which was interesting when I think about it. We'd all go and have breakfast there, and the things that were included in the continental breakfast were the things that you usually see in a continental breakfast. But in Kunming, the things that we saw at breakfast were things like dumplings and rice soup. It's basically like rice in warm milk, which is the only way I can think to describe it. And, you know, like, I could only think of the weird foods and like the weirdest things, which I guess is how it goes, but there was so much food that was really good. My favorite was this one place that we went to in Kunming where we had giant bowls of soup. So what happened was they gave us tiny little appetizers to begin with on a big Lazy Susan, and then everyone got a bowl of basically raw ingredients. And then we got a huge bowl that was like, I don't know a very good way to show it, but it was a bowl that was that had enough broth in it to feed a family of 4. And the idea was you dump all of your raw ingredients in there, and then they give you a bowl of noodles and you dump those in there, and then you eat all of that. So it's enough food for like 4 people, just for you, and everyone got one. They gave us a ladle to eat it, is how big this thing was. I couldn't eat very much of it, to be honest, but it was so good, and I would go back to Kunming just to eat at this restaurant, even though I have no idea what it was called. It had good food. Don't judge me. I will see you on Monday, I hope. I am crossing my fingers that we have good enough internet that I can upload videos for this, I can't. I'm crossing my fingers that we have good internet. I am crossing my fingers that we have good enough internet that I can upload videos for this foreseeable future.